Right, in this video today, we are creating 3 fuss-free and flavoursome one-pot pasta dishes that are perfect for weeknight dinners. They're low ingredient and they're super easy to recreate, and most importantly, they are seriously delicious.
The great thing about one-pot pastas is you literally just throw everything into one pot and you let it do its thing, and also you're left with less washing up at the end. How good is that?
Perfect.
Also, the starch from the pasta really adds to the creaminess in the sauce, and it's just so good.
We've used some ingredients interchangeably here, so once you've made one recipe, it's really likely you've got some leftover ingredients to make another.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, people. Yeah. We've got some wicked recipes coming up. We've got more pastas, more curries, more salads. We've got some delicious vegan food coming your way. So subscribe if you want to be the first to know about these recipes.
The first recipe is our twist on the classic Italian Puttanesca pasta. It uses capers, olives, tomatoes and garlic. It's salty, it's spicy, and we use a secret ingredient, nori, to get that salty taste of the sea.
So we're going to start with the garlic. Get 4 cloves, peel the skin, brush them under a knife and then dice them. Next, add just a drizzle of olive oil to a pot on a medium heat. Then as soon as the oil is nice and hot, add in the diced garlic along with half a teaspoon of chili flakes for heat. If you don't like it too hot, just dial down on the chili flakes, or you can leave them out completely. Give these a stir and fry for a couple of minutes or until the garlic begins to brown. While that's cooking, we're going to get the remaining ingredients ready. We're using 140 grams of pitted Kalamata olives in this Putanesca, but you can use any regular black olives to slice them into rings. Then measure about 400 grams of cherry tomatoes and slice them in half. These are going to add a lovely fresh sweetness. When you're ready, add the cherry tomatoes to the pot, followed by the olives, and then go in with about 4 tablespoons of capers drained from a jar. Give these a stir and fry it for around 3 minutes. Then pour in 400 grams of passata.
We use passata here, which is a really common ingredient in UK supermarkets. It gives the pasta a really rich and creamy texture, but you could sub it for crushed or tinned tomatoes instead.
And next we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree and a couple tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. We're also going to season with salt and pepper before adding about 500 ml, which is 2 cups worth of hot water. Give this delicious sauce a really good stir to combine all those ingredients and turn the heat up a touch to bring it to a gentle boil. Okay, now it's time to go in with the linguine. We're using about 350 grams, which should serve about 4 people pretty easily. Just drop them into a pot, and as soon as the pasta softens, give it a good stir into the sauce, turn the heat down so it simmers, and cook the pasta with the lid on. Now this pasta will take about 10 to 12 minutes to cook, and you'll need to stir the pasta every few minutes to stop it sticking to the bottom of the pot. If after 7 or 8 minutes there's still lots of water, try cooking the pasta with the lid off until the pasta is cooked to let some of the water escape. While the pasta is cooking, we're going to chop 1 piece of nori into small pieces using scissors. Puttanesca is often made with anchovies, so we're using nori, aka seaweed, to capture that taste of the sea, and it works brilliantly. When the pasta is done, there should still be a good amount of sauce left. Turn the heat off and sprinkle in the chopped nori and stir it into the pasta. And now it's ready to serve. Seriously, this pasta has bags of flavour and it's an incredibly simple, fuss-free meal. The last thing to do is chop up a handful of fresh parsley, pick the leaves off their stalks and roughly chop them. Then sprinkle the fresh parsley over this incredible pasta. Honestly, this Puttanesca is rich, it's saucy, and it's perfectly salty from the capers and the olives. And that nori is a total game changer. Next up is our one-pot mushroom and spinach pasta. This recipe uses really simple and straightforward ingredients that come together beautifully to create a really quick and easy pasta.
First up, get 1 onion, peel it and finely dice it. Get 4 garlic cloves, crush them under a knife, peel them and then dice them. Then add a drizzle of olive oil to a pot on a medium heat. When the oil is hot, add the onion and garlic and fry for around 6 minutes until translucent. Next, get 500 grams of mushrooms. We're using closed cut, but you can also use chestnut. Brush off any dirt, then roughly slice them. Add the sliced mushrooms and cook them for around 10 minutes. Get as much of the moisture out as possible, so cook them for a few more minutes if necessary. Now we're going to add about 500 ml of vegetable stock, and then top that up with around 350 ml of hot water. Then go in with 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, which is going to add a lovely warm kick. Now add your pasta of choice. We're using fusilli pasta, around 350 grams for 4 people. All you need to do for now is season with pinches of salt and pepper. Give it all a good stir, then bring it to a boil. When it's ready, pop the lid on, lower the heat and simmer for 8 to 10 minutes until the pasta is almost al dente. Again, you'll need to stir it every few minutes to stop it sticking to the bottom. And if after about 5 minutes there's still lots of water, then just cook the remainder with the lid off. Okay, we're nearly there. Now we need to add 120 ml, about half a cup of vegan single cream. We're using an oat-based cream here. Then squeeze in the juice from half a lemon for that fresh citrus flavour. Then add 200 grams of fresh baby spinach.
This might look like a lot of spinach, but trust us, it will really wilt down in the pot. Also, spinach is packed with loads of good stuff. We're talking about calcium, vitamin K, vitamin C, and iron, and so much more, and it's one of our favourite leafy greens to add to pastas.
Stir and cook for a minute or 2 until the spinach is wilted. Meanwhile, pick the leaves off a handful of fresh parsley, chop them, then scatter most of them into the pot and stir them through. You can also taste the pasta here and season to perfection with salt and pepper if necessary. This gorgeous pasta is now ready to plate up. To finish, sprinkle over some freshly ground black pepper, then top with some more fresh parsley. Citrusy but also slightly tangy from the mustard. This recipe uses really straightforward and easy to find ingredients, but they come together to deliver a really wonderful pasta, and the starch you get from cooking the pasta in the sauce just adds to the creaminess. Delicious. Next up is our 1-pot creamy sun-dried tomato pasta. The sun-dried tomatoes and the miso paste work really well to give this pasta dish loads of depth of flavour.
We're going to start again with some garlic. Get 3 cloves this time, crush them under a knife, peel off the skins and dice the cloves. Wait for the oil to get hot, then add the diced garlic as well as half a teaspoon of chili flakes. Fry for a couple of minutes, then when the garlic begins to brown, pour in 500 ml of vegetable stock and top up with about 300 ml of water. Next, add pinches of salt and pepper, followed by your pasta. We're going for farfalle and roughly 350 grams to serve 4 people. Then stir everything together. Then bring it to a boil before putting the lid on and simmering for about 8 to 10 minutes. You want to capture it just before it gets to al dente. Don't forget to stir the sauce every few minutes and take the lid off after about 5 minutes or so if there's still lots of water. While the pasta is cooking, roughly chop the sun-dried tomatoes ready for the next step. We're using around 100 grams in drained weight. So we're almost there. This pasta is still a little firm, which is perfect, and there's still a good amount of starchy sauce left. So we're gonna go in with about 200 ml of vegan single cream, the juice from half a lemon, add in our chopped sun-dried tomatoes, and then add 1 teaspoon of white miso paste.
We use white miso paste here because it has a slightly more sweet and subtle flavour than other versions, but you can use any miso paste that's in your fridge already. And if you're buying a new pot, try and find an unpasteurised version because it will have a more balanced flavour.
Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast and about 150 grams of fresh baby spinach. Keep stirring until all that spinach is wilted, and that's all there is to it. Our simple 1-pot sun-dried tomato pasta. All we need to do now is drizzle over a splash of extra virgin olive oil and sprinkle over some freshly ground black pepper. This is optional, but it really helps to lift the dish. So good. We absolutely adore sun-dried tomatoes, and they bring a rich flavour to this dish along with that white miso paste. This creamy pasta is so Moorish, and it is impossible to stop eating. And that is it. 1-pot pasta heaven. We really hope you enjoyed these 3 delicious and simple recipes. You'll get all the recipes below this video. Click on the links to our website where you will also find all the nutritional information. That's about it really. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more delicious, awesome videos just like this one. And we'll see you next time.